Alright, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be doing the playoffs pick'ems for Masters Toronto. This is how my Swiss stage went through VLR. Um, wow. This went well, as you can see. Looked like the two worst teams in the event. And then Liquid lost to PaperX. I fell asleep through this game. Kind of disappointed about this. My random pickup of Wolves after their Sentinels game worked out. I think Wolves look truly really good, which is why I posted on my YouTube channel that I threw them as an underdog pick here. It went really well. Uh, I don't know how good Paper Rex looks after this series. I imagine probably pretty good. And then in Valorant, I had Sentinels going 2-0, which did go through. Just because I felt like them starting against Wolves would be easy versus either of these teams or either of these teams, and I didn't think Liquid would go 2-0. So my prediction of Sentinels was good. My overall thing is I think these two teams look sick. Sentinels look alright. And then Wolves is the last team that got out. They look pretty good. I'm kind of impressed with them. So with that being said, I've seen the groups, or seen the playoffs bracket. I don't know how these happened. I don't know who chose who, but I'm here to predict. So this should be fun. I don't even know where to start. These are all disgusting games. I think I'm gonna start with Sentinels, Gilai, and I kinda just have to go with Sentinels 3-0 in China. It's a crazy narrative. I don't know if Gilai picked Sentinels or if they got left with them, but that's kind of funny that Sentinels has played all three Chinese teams like back to back. I think that happened once with like Heretics playing. I don't even remember, but it was last year, I believe. Or our team might have played all of the EMEA teams or something. I truly don't remember. Uh, yeah, I think from what I've seen, Sentinels did not look as good going into the event as I was expecting them to. My personal like tier list would be G2, then Fnatic, then Sentinels and Heretics, and number 4. And then from there, I didn't really have a lot of faith in the other teams, but that's definitely changed. I think Paper Rex, from what I have seen, looks really good. And then Genji also looks really good. I'm really impressed by Genji. I think Ash has really stepped up from what little I've seen of him. And he's looked just so disgusting this event, which was really sick to see. That like the biggest question mark on their team is really stepping up. Yeah. Let's go back to it. I hope. I hope that G2 does not lose this. I hope. I really, really, really hope that I am able to click G2 and not have any issues. I am very scared. I think there is a very good possibility that PaperX win this. I think this is probably a 55-45 game. I think they have a pretty similar map pool historically, if I remember correctly. They're both okay on Split. They both like Lotus. They both like Sunset. I mean, Haven is a difference. I think Ascent is a difference as well. Yeah, I kind of convinced myself. Icebox is kind of 50-50. I think PaperX would probably win an Icebox, but both teams are good on Icebox. Very different identities, which would be fun to see the stylistic matchup. But yeah, I think that G2 are better on enough maps to where it doesn't matter what maps do in fact get played. That I hope G2 are able to win the series. I think Trent, as long as he's able to keep 80-70% of his Teo form, going back to Sova, Breach, KO, Fade, whatever they end up playing, I mean, it's likely just Fade Sova. I think those are the only main initiators, and then whatever they end up playing on Sunset, maybe even Viper for him, depending on what comp they want to play, because a lot of teams have been playing the Viper on Sunset, and Trent's been known to play Viper in the past as the scan initiator, which you're in the P playing the second initiator, but I think this is a good game. I'm really, 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 really hyped to watch this game. Actually, I'm curious. I feel like one of these games are definitely on my birthday. Oh, these games are on my birthday. Fun fact. But let's see. What am I hoping for my birthday? I think I'm taking Wolves. I have not seen RRQ enough. I do not know how good they will be. I don't remember how experienced their team is now. I believe their most experienced player is Manier. Let me look at their roster before I make myself look like an absolute idiot. Yeah, they have a pretty inexperienced roster. Xfero is definitely their most experienced player though. Jimkin has looked really good. Manier is they have a good shooting team. But I think the momentum that Wolves is building is actually really good. They have definitely claimed where I wanted them to be at the beginning of the year as that number 2 team. Like China Preds have been all over the place, I will be honest. It was like EDG, Wolves, FPX. I think to some degree that's actually fleshing out now. So I think I'm gonna go with, I don't know, this is probably what, a 40% upset? 60-40 for RQ being favorites. I kind of trust Wolves to win this game. I don't really know why. I mean, I can't give you a sound reason. I think this team just looks really sick. They're really fun to watch. And it's just fun rooting for them, the 12th place team. It would be disgusting if they won the event, just like T1. But, um, yeah, I like seeing Lysor and just back where he was last year on FPX. I mean, I believe that he got cut from FPX. I could be wrong. Like, maybe he left, wanted to do something else. But so what it looks like to me is he got cut from FPX because they wanted an upgrade. And it's funny seeing him being on arguably the best Chinese team internationally right now. Just because I don't believe that GLI will do very much with their whole roster situation. Oh boy. This is a fucking birthday gift right here. I have no idea who to pred. Genji look absolutely disgusting, but so does Fnatic. And Fnatic have Crashies. And I love Crashies. Yeah. Crashies has probably returned to my favorite player after what little I've seen of him when I've watched EMEA and Fnatic play. A little bit stage 1. Yeah. Just because they have Crashies. I don't know. I think this could honestly be a team diff though. Because Texture's been playing out of his mind. And no offense to Kayak, I just don't think he can do that. I mean, Ash has been playing like a world-class initiator this event so far, from what I've seen. He's been playing like to the same level as Crashies probably. Then Munchkin is, I think, will be able to IGL closely to Boaster, and is, I think they're about equal as IGLs. Charon versus Chronicle, both are good. And then the Sentinels of Foxy 9 versus Alpha. This is a good game. This is a lot of shooters in one server. This will be fun to see. I'm kind of convincing myself of Genji, if I'm being honest. But to be fair, Fnatic have not had to show anything this event, and they can easily just prep something super hard. And Gen G, I believe, was the team that played the Deadlock Viper comp on Sunset, which Fnatic could kind of just anti-strat and just destroy. I'm not sure how. That's not my job to figure it out. It's Fnatic's, Boaster's, coaches, Milan. And, I mean, Fnatic have a pretty good map pool. If they play like a Haven or something, we have Alfier on ISO. That's quite scary. Yeah, I think this is a true 50-50 coin toss. One team is probably just gonna absolutely blow out the other, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go with Fnatic because I think not showing anything. Like I don't think Fnatic should be the type of team that needs to warm up. Like they should be able to go into this match ready to play the series. I hope. Now I want to try to go in order, so I believe that means that would be the lower bracket. 15, 16, yes. Okay, so for elimination games, I believe PaperX eliminate Gila. I think this is a pretty safe bet. I mean, like, no offense to Gila, I haven't watched them play. I know they placed #1 in China, but they cut a player, had their sub play, signed another player who I was not impressed by going to Trace. Just what I've seen statistically. Maybe he's an insane player, and maybe stats don't show that, but Midi does not seem like that great. I don't know. I think PaperX should just clear it. Given the form that PaperX are in, though, as well, I think this is a no-brainer. I think it's pretty quite clear that PaperX should win this. And then this takes us to the APAC Gauntlet. I do think that this is probably... What does this look like? Ooh, I kind of like that more, but I'm not doing that. I think an APAC team is eliminating each other here. I'm not truly sure. I think I kind of just have to go with what I've seen on Gen G, because I think they look really good. Sentinels G2. I'm gonna go with the safe pick of G2, and then Fnatic. I think these are pretty safe. That gives us Wolves PaperX and Sentinels Gen G. This is a great matchup, and I actually did not expect myself to pick Gen G to get out of this game, but I think I will. I think Gen G look significantly better than Sentinels. I think they're definitely the strongest opponent going in from Swiss stage. Wolves PaperX. This could be a really good game, but I do not believe that Wolves have the capability to take PaperX. I think Heretics looked really bad from what I watched, so I was safe. Like I was okay with going with Wolves, as I thought Sentinels looked slightly better than Heretics, and Heretics looked pretty bad, and Wolves I think should have beat Sentinels. But I don't think that they have a chance against Gen G PaperX, either or, and probably not Fnatic. I have to go with PaperX. I don't think there's a world where Wolves could go through. It'd have to be some crazy like lower bracket run. Like it would actually have to be magical for this team to make a run past this. But I think this already is impressive in and of itself for Wolves if they make it here. They've really shown themselves in Swiss stage. I think they can definitely prove themselves in playoffs. Alright. So that leaves us with G2, Fnatic, PaperX, Gen G as our top 4. Oh, this is disgusting. I'm not a fan of this. I think I go with Fnatic here. I don't know why I want to go with Fnatic, but I really want to go with Fnatic here. I don't know. There's just something telling me that Fnatic would be so good here. But I think I want to go the safe route. I think just looking at the map pool, looking at the players individually, Jogamo versus Kayak, Jog wins that. Crashies versus Trent. I'm probably taking Crashies. Boaster versus Valen, both IGLN controller. I think they're pretty close. I think Valen's probably a better player. Leaf versus Alpha. And then Kron versus Jonah P. I think I just have to go with the team that has had just a really good map pool overall. And I wanna dude. I don't know. I don't even know what a map like a pick ban would look like against these two. Because if they go to Lotus, Fnatic have prepped out of Teo meta, and G2 are not crushing, but they were playing Teo on 7 straight maps. And Trent looked superhuman. Whereas Fnatic already played their OG 2023 Lotus comp. Fnatic have a really sick split, and I think G2's was okay. But I think it was just good use of Breach Teo is just going to make any map look good. I like G2's Ascent a lot. I don't know what Fnatic have for Ascent. I don't know if Fnatic have shown Ascent, actually. Have they been permanent Ascent? Let's see. Van Pearl, Van Haven. Split, Icebox, Fracture, Lotus, Ascent. This would be Sunset now? I am slightly scared for Fnatic's map pool. Because that's Ascent, which they don't play heavy. That's Sunset now, which they historically didn't play. And that's Pearl, which they have not a lot of reps on. I can pretty confidently say that. They have 5 reps all time on Pearl since 2022. And they have 6 on Sunset. I think if the map pick ban goes right for G2, it should make Fnatic's life miserable. But I don't know if that matters. I think that Fnatic also have a really good icebox. It's just a standard icebox. No, they actually changed it. Fnatic historically have had a really good icebox, but so has G2. And G2 have been playing some crazy icebox hops. Lotus, Split, Icebox, Ascent, likely Sunset, Pearl gets banned. I don't know. I'm going with my gut. I truly feel like Fnatic will win this. I don't know why. There's just something telling me that Fnatic are gonna win. I'd love to see G2 win an event, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling this upper bracket game. That takes us to the lower round 3, where I want to go with Paper Rex. Given, if I remember, this was a fairly close game. I think it was a 2-0. I think the main reason was Genji didn't drop a pistol, and I think going into this game, rematches are always going to be hard to, like, not break. Like, the underdog becomes, or like the team who lost previously always feels better going into a rematch. I think also just looking at the opponents, Gilai Wolves versus RQ and Sen, like these are much like scarier opponents, as well as what would be Fnatic and Paper X are about even. I think Paper X. I was expecting Paper X. I think Paper X looks slightly better in form. I think they look more like cohesive as a team, but Gen G just individually are disgusting right now. Everybody on that team is shooting well. Charon looks superhuman. Texture looks like by far the best duelist in the world, I can say right now. Um, Ash looks like rookie of the year possibly. Hmm. Foxy9 looks good enough from what I remember. Like he's not gonna hold them back. But I also don't remember him having any crazy like crazy moments. But I think he's doing his job and he looks good enough. Where I don't think he needs to, like especially when all four of his teammates are destroying anyone in front of them. But I think this is a close game. I think there's a chance that we see something like this. Like I think any team here could anything could happen here. But I personally, I think any of these four teams can win the event. And I think in a crazy off chance Sentinels could too. I think this is also possible. But I believe that this is the way. Then G2 Paper X. There's the thing about rematches, but I also believe that the loser of this game being able to watch this is really good for G2. And I believe because that they have similar map pools, these two teams, that G2 can do a lot of prep work ahead of time going into the series and the break between these two. And I believe that G2 can get a good game plan going to anti-strap Paper X in a BO5, I believe this is. Let me double check this. It is in fact a BO5. Which makes me feel quite inclined to go with G2. Because Paper X Ascent is awful. And their Haven is awful. And they can only ban one, I believe. I believe this game is Team A ban, Team B ban, Team A pick, Team B pick, etc. So that means that Haven is open against Paper X or Ascent, either or. I don't think it matters. I was really considering Paper X here, the Copenhagen rematch, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think G2 are just too favored here, given that Paper X don't have a 7 map pool, they have a 5 map pool. That all looks pretty good. And I think G2 have shown being the closest to a 7 map pool, I believe, at this event as a top team. And then this gives Fnatic double ban. They get a ban Pearl. They get a ban Sunset. They pick likely Lotus or Split. I would say Split. G2 pick likely Lotus or Sunset. No, not Sunset. G2 would pick likely Lotus then. Fnatic would probably pick Haven. Then we would get Icebox. And then Fnatic would have a Seth probably. Let me rerun that in my head. Split, Lotus, Haven, Icebox, Ascent. Honestly, I think we could see a lower bracket run or G2, a fake lower bracket run, just because But I think it's possible. I think truly this team should be really motivated to win, and I don't think them losing the upper final is that big of a deal because I imagine that they can build a 7 map pool. I believe that they should be close and they should have enough footage on Fnatic. And I think G2 should be able to just have more knowledge into Fnatic because they also have Anders who worked with them in the past. I think this should be a game. This would be definitely the best game of the event, I would imagine. But yeah, I think this is my bracket. I'm not fully confident in this. I think this bracket looks fairly good. I think RRQ are definitely better than this shows. Just from my limited knowledge of RRQ. I know they have really good players. I could see them beating Gen G, maybe Sentinels. But I just have to go with what I know, what I've seen, what I believe. And for my VLR bracket, this is this. This is how I'm feeling. And let me do the in-game bracket as well. Just really quick. It's no lower bracket. Wait, what? Wait, I'm so confused. Yo, this bracket is so ugly. I'm so confused what is happening. HyperX, Gen G. There we go. So now, I think this is everything. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Sorry that this video is half an hour long. Join the Discord. Blame me if I go 0 for all of these. Like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Twitch. I'm building a new PC soon, so hopefully I'll be streaming more with that. Follow my Twitter. Should be in the description. That's really it. Peace out. Thanks for watching, guys.